Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fun episode, episode 21. So in week years, the show's finally old enough to drink. Welcome back to the Drunken Under Quarantine show presented by the Woolen Comedy Club. Tonight, unfortunately, Colin can't be with us, but GW Foley is along my side, and our guest tonight will be Purpura of New York City. It's going to be fun to get some insight on what's going on down there. Tonight, we're going to talk about some fun topics. Tonight, we're going to talk about the newest Burger King ad where Ronald McDonald and the King are locked in a lip lock. We're going to talk about Cuties and what that has done to Netflix as a whole. We're going to touch briefly on the wildfires that are out west and are spreading quick. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Joe Rogan and the possibility that he might host the greatest presidential debate that's ever been had. So should be a fun show. Without further ado, we'll kick it over to my co-host, one of my great friends and a man that I cannot see enough of, and a man who, congratulations, sir, returned to school this week. So we're all very proud of him and looking forward to hearing more about that. Please welcome to the spotlight stage, Mr. GW Foley.
Hey, thank you. Let me first say let me just say, school sucks. Don't ever do it. It's a lie. I'm remembering all the anxiety I had as a teenager when I went to school, and I failed to grasp the concept of anxiety in life. I'm still every time I get an email, I'm like, oh God, no, I did something wrong. And there's no way that I possibly fucked up. Sorry, pardon my French. I know there's little audience members running around. I know I haven't messed up yet, but I'm still constantly under that fear that oh my God, I'm gonna mess up horribly, and that just scares me. I don't like emailing professors. I definitely is not on the top 10 list of things to do, but I had to do that this past week, and I was so petrified that he was just gonna automatically fail me because of it. And I think that's my horrible feeling through this entire process is that I'm just gonna fail horribly into a burning ring of fire and still be saddled with thousands of dollars worth of debt. That's my biggest fear. My other biggest fear is bees, which I don't know if you've seen lately, but around my place, they have been everywhere. I actually had to kill one inside my house. Normally I'm one of those guys that would take a cup and capture it and let it outside into the wilderness. But this one was completely I want to use the term thuggish. It had an attitude to it where it just wanted to really fuck with me. I did it again. And I tried catching it and it wouldn't be caught. So I finally had to just take my slipper like I was a Spanish mother and just slap it, which finally got it. I left the corpse of the smeared corpse of the bee on the wall for when Mexican drug lords just hang the corpses off of bridges. That was my feeling. That way you don't mess with me. So far so good. I've only seen one other bee and that was outside. I left it alone. I was like, this is neutral territory. We don't need gang warfare outside. There's too many civilians around. I'm not a fan of the seasonal change. I have allergies, and this time of year is the worst for me. It's one of those things where I'll get so coffee that I'll lose oxygen and pass out, which is never fun. I was standing at my house earlier today trying to take a leak and started coughing, which first off, coughing and pissing is a complete challenge, and I don't know how other guys do it, but like I was swinging around like a manless fire hose, just swinging everywhere with my coughing. And then I started to pass out, which I don't know if you've ever tried passing out when you're peeing. It's never a fun time. Like it just kind of dribbled down everywhere, covered myself. I hit my head in the toilet. Just not a good sign, man. The other worst part about this season is all the fresh apples. Which everyone's like, oh, fresh apples, how is that a bad thing? I was eating one, and it was so juicy that it dripped on my pants and just kind of stuck there. And I was looking, and now it looks like I have a jizz mark right on my shorts. And like I've been going outside going, oh, hey, how's it going, neighbors? And he's looking at me like, oh, man, he doesn't even change his pants after he masturbates. I do. I definitely do. But that's been my week. Let's turn it back over to Hickory and his magical performance.
Oh, thank you, GW. Personally, I think I like to pass out and then pee in that order. But this week I have a fun clip to share with you guys. This is a little routine that I like to do. And yeah, I just call this Coins and Glass. Let's check it out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Hickory, the drunken under quarantine, or underwhelming, uninformed, or Hickory the drunken undernourished is what my doctor said. So go with that. I have been getting enough fruits and vegetables in my diet, apparently. Fortunately, I found this, which has two types of fruit. So suck it, Doc. I'll get this caught up. It also seems that I have managed to forget to bring a coin. So I'll show you guys how coins can be manufactured. We have here some of Hickory's magic weight loss powder. Simply dumping a little of that to hands, packing it down in there. Find that we've made a little coin. It's awesome. Now that we have that, we'll do. We just took that, put it in that hand. Coin has magically gone down through the drink. Not through one napkin, not through two, but down through 3 napkins. That's awesome. I feel much better prepared though. God damn it. One trick with the goldfish one time, and you're finding those things everywhere. I'll show you guys. It would be pretty much impossible to put the coin through there. You would ignore your man. It's not impossible. Mr. Drunken Underwhelming. You guys can see it.
Oh, wow.
Clearly went through the glass. It's pretty amazing. I'm going to quick wipe out of that. Stick that back in there. That goldfish. Goldfish disappeared. So, taster. Drunken Underwhelming. So now where does Hickory the drunken underwhelming find himself? Well, he lost his magic powder, lost his drink, lost his snacks, That is really fun. I think there's a silver lining in all of this. It would be that sometimes you would take your final coin. So, put it in your hand. A little tap. A little tap. Vanish from that hand. Glass. Let's start officially. Thank you, everybody. Remember, stay drunk, not growing. Most importantly, stay safe. See you next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit. That's a fun one. Without further ado, we will keep this magic drunken underwhelming show on the road. We introduced our night's guest. It's exciting. A man that we haven't met in person due to all of the, COVID things and the fact that it had taken 14 days of quarantine just to say hi. So fortunately, we're blessed with technology, and this is a very funny man. You can find him at Purpura on his Instagram and his social medias. And he is a New York City comic who, as far as I know, also books some shows and does some cool stuff down there back during, before the world went to shit. So please welcome to our spotlight stage, Mr. Will Purpura.
Hey.
Welcome.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. Oh, I'll do some bits. Should I do some bits?
Yeah.
All right. Man, well, I'll start off. GW, you're a better man than me changing your pants after masturbating. I mean, look, I only have so many pants. And I jerk off way more than I have pants. So that's just an impossibility for me. Man, what about this quarantine, right? It is wild out there. And, this is such a scary time that all I can say is I'm really glad my father's not alive to see the state of the world. The way I think he can handle it. I'm just glad he's dead. My father, if my father died when I was 17, I was actually there when it happened. I saw him die of a heart attack. And that is something you do not easily forget. But in case I do, I taped it. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's under Epic Heart Fail. It's pretty funny. My dad died during spring break, actually. He, which sucks when you're in high school, because I was going to get that week off anyway. I miss the world. I miss the outside world. One thing that's just to tell you what's going on over here, they recently reopened the gyms. That's good news. I miss the gym. The gym was like my little safe space. I missed my trainer. I would walk in every day, and my trainer would always ask me, "What are we working on today, Will?" The same thing we're working on every day, buddy. My masculinity issues. Now, and call me a sissy. That's where I work out my masculinity issues, at the gym. If I go to the shower and I see a guy with a bigger cock than me, I go, "What machine did you use?" That's the one I need. I'm sorry. Are there children present?
No, you're good.
All right. Cock it is. I was going to maybe change it up to wiener or fiddly-doo. So one thing that's been great about the quarantine is that I've been able to maintain my mental health with therapy. I see a therapist online. But she sometimes annoys me because she will she will interrupt me while I'm telling a story and go, "How do you feel right now?" "Annoyed." "Can you sense in your body where that feeling lives?" "Yeah, my brain." "And what does your brain need?" "To finish my story." Can you imagine that need being met? "Yeah, if you'd shut the fuck up, I'm going to tell you how everyone's crazy except me." Let's see. Oh, my birthday actually just passed on Friday. It was 9/11. And anyone remember? People always ask me, what's that like? Well, one year, it sucked. Let's see. Just going through all my new quarantine bits. Well, some of them are not new. I mean, one thing that's been good about living in quarantine, it's kind of like brought me closer to people in a way. I've made a pledge to call my mother once a week. Once a week, call my mother, see how she's doing. She'd like it to be more because I live with her, but and people go, "Hey man, you're a loser. You're a loser because you live with your mom." "Oh yeah? Well, you tell that to Zach Richter, the coolest kid who went to my high school, because he also lives with my mom." They're fucking. All right. I don't miss people as much as I miss telling people I'm busy. What happened to that? That used to be a thing. I don't have excuses anymore. "I'm sorry, I can't make your Zoom wedding. I'm dead. I'm trying to stay off social media. I don't want, Zoom is too much for me. I'm limiting it down. I told my therapist, now I'm down to social media 2 hours per hour. That's it." Because, there's so many, there's a lot, I get a lot of real FOMO. People, it just feels like everybody's doing better than me. Like the other day, my friend posted a picture of his couch. Come on, buddy. Some of us are still using 2 chairs and a dog. Stop. Lifestyle. I have it's hard because I have a lot of circular negative thoughts. So I have to reframe them into something positive. So now it's a carousel of negative thoughts. I miss a lot of stuff. I do miss sex. I remember that. I like how the CDC is cool now. CDC 100 years ago is all right, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody hunker by the fire in your homes and hold your children tight. But nowadays the CDC is all right, listen up. We're going to have to fuck through a hole for the next 6 months. Stock up on your vibrators and dildos. We're going into winter. The CDC now says officially it is safe to eat your own cum. It's totally safe. That's too much. All right. But they're hip. I miss sex. I do miss the intimacy of sex. Even though sometimes it's confusing. I would have sex and midway through you're what is this exactly? What are we doing? We're both naked. I'm inside you. Your husband's inside me. I got a rope around my neck tied to the ceiling fan, live grenade in my mouth, mousetrap on my nards. Did this become so predictable? I'm bored.
Yeah.
How much time do I have left?
Oh, whatever you want, man. It's real loose.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Let's see. I am also the thing with social media is I just I need positivity in my life. So I only allow positivity. I don't allow any negativity on my feed. The other day, a friend of mine, his grandmother passed and I had to block him. No, I can't do it. Everybody's talking about that movie, Marriage Story. Did you guys see it?
Not yet.
No,
It's
not yet.
It's a little too highbrow for me. I mean, like the arguments that the couple have, they're like, "You never congratulated me on getting the Genius Grant." I've never been in a relationship like that. I wish they would make it a little more white trash for me to make it relatable. Like, you never congratulated me when I beat up that carny when he cheated me at whack-a-mole. I could have used your support on that. Let's see. Anything to close on? Anything good? Well, I'll tell you this. I just want to tell you about my adult circumcision. So I had an adult circumcision at the age of 22. I've seen both sides of the coin. I can tell you officially, uncircumcision, having an uncircumcision, that's fun. It's a lot of laughs. I used to close it up and pee in it, blow it up like a balloon. It was but I had to get rid of it because I had phimosis, which is when the skin is attached to the head and you can't pull it back. So the first time I had sex, it went a little something like this. Ah! Which is not, preferable. So I had to go get put under gas and get this operation done. I had like a bandaged, bloodied, stitched up penis for like 6 months. And now I have a scar on my penis, or as I call it, character. I'll just close on that. I think, what was that?
That was perfect. Thank you for being on the show with us, Will.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it, my brother. That's been fun. I also a shout out to Matt Vita for connecting the two of us. He's a great friend of the show, and we appreciate his help. Shout out, he'll be on next week, so that's always fun. And thank you for coming out, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a great set.
Thanks. The one thing I wanted to say was I couldn't do the gym thing and take the shower because every dick is bigger than mine. Like, I'd be shouting at everyone, even the fucking teenage boys. I know you haven't hit puberty, but your dick's bigger than mine.
My follow-up on that was that you'd mentioned the CDC said it's safe to eat your own cum, which brought me back to a story from high school where we're in class and we're tasting the 5 different flavors in a culinary class, and so you taste sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and then you taste umami, and this girl next to me swishes the umami flavor in her mouth. She's like, "Wow, that tastes like man juice."
Oh.
And I looked at her and I was like, "You're right, it does." And she was like, How do you know, Kyle? How would you know that? And I was like, "Honey, I'm a 17-year-old man. I practically leak this stuff." And that made me miss the good old days back half a lifetime ago. So we'll get right into the subjects of the evening. First, before that, I wanted to give a shout out to our regular viewers. Jay, I hope you're out there enjoying the show. Thank you for following along. Vinny, thank you very much. Thank you for all the help with any of the behind the scenes stuff that we're working on right now that we'll be announcing soon. Big thanks to Jesse and Matt for following regularly. We appreciate you guys for the viewership, and please write in comments if you guys have something you want us to talk about. I'll try to get that right on the dais. But we'll move into the talk show segment where I may or may not have an added guest. And this would be a perfect time to move right into our first subject. Burger King released an ad this week, 3 days ago, I believe. And at first, when I first saw it, I thought it was a meme. I thought it was a fan art for like a fanfic where Ronald McDonald and the Burger King, develop a relationship, because when you're at the top of your game, you know, there's not many other people you can relate to at the top of your game. So I thought it was a fanfic, but it turns out no. Burger King actually released an ad where Ronald McDonald and the Burger King are making out in the ad. I know, V, it scarred me too. I'm sorry. But it's an actual ad with the subtitle that Love Conquers All, I think was the subtitle. I wanted to get your guys' opinions on that, because when I didn't believe it was real, and it kind of blew me away that that's where advertisement is right now. Because in the 50s, we used to have ads that were just straight to the point. They were like, "Hey, our burgers are delicious. You don't want lettuce and pickles, like that doesn't bother us. Come buy our burgers." And now our Burger King ad is Ronald McDonald and the Burger King going to town on each other. So I thought I might get your guys' opinions. I hope you guys saw the ad as well. And G-Dubs, any thoughts on that?
Well, I think this is a lot better than their first stab at this one, where it was the Taco Bell Chihuahua. Yeah, PETA was all over that one, going, "No, you can't do that, man." I mean, who hasn't want to have sex with a Chihuahua though? It's nice and tight. That's.
Oh, Will, you got any comments on this? Anything you want to?
Yeah, let's bring it to cigarettes next. Let's have the Marlboro Man fuck Joe Camel. Yeah, I think it's so it's Burger King, and did McDonald's okay it?
I don't know. It's I guess that's up in the air still. That did make me wonder the legality of using just the back of the head of a famous company's, because the ad is kind of the king in the front and Ronald's from behind, but they are very clearly engaged in some lip locking.
I mean,
they used to call it.
That could be any famous. That could be Annie from Little Orphan Annie, or the Wendy's chick. I mean,
I was wondering if Wendy was jealous. Like imagine the backstory on that Wendy's always wanted to hook up with Ronald, and and in 2020 her heart got broken.
Have little ginger babies.
Because Ronald and Wendy would have had the most beautiful redheaded children.
It would look like me. That's like, this is what happens when Wendy fucks McDonald's. This is
she does
body
with like
structure.
Pigtails or pigtails and some ICP paint on. That's what I imagine their child would look like.
I'm mad I cut my hair, because like I actually cut my hair last week. And now I can't do pigtails.
We'll have to get you a wig.
Yeah. Yes. Not that I don't have one already.
But yeah, that ad was fun. You guys miss the old days when advertisements were straight to and didn't, especially back in it's kind of been convoluted since before I remember, but I've seen some old ads and they were just straight to the point. It used to be like, "Hey, we're a company that produces razors. Our razors take hair off your face really well. Buy our product." And now it's like, we get a 1-minute ad about nothing that has to do with our company.
Right.
And then our logo's at the end.
Well, it's all the Super Bowl's fault, man. Like, everyone's spending all this money for like these giant ads that just have like all these like ridiculous premises to them, where instead it should be like Doritos, they make you better stoned, like something like that, like, or like Taco Bell, get diarrhea fast.
Yeah.
I will say that the newer Doritos ads are one of my favorite current ones, where they're like the anti-ad, where it's just like a guy holding a big red bag and a blue bag, and they're like, "We don't even have to tell you the name of the product or show you the logo, but you know what these bags are." They're delicious tortilla chips coated in fake flavoring. Those are some of my favorites. We'll move along to the Netflix debacle. Movie recently released on Netflix. I believe it was on the 9th or the 10th of the month. So less than a week ago. It had received some negative press beforehand. And the film is called Cuties, which depicts a group of 11 to 12-year-old girls who join a dance crew and rebel against society by dancing like they are on OnlyFans. Netflix, I read earlier today, lost $9 billion in a single day between cancellations and their stocks plummeting due to their poor decision making for marketing this. I figured you guys might have something comment on that. Anything you want to throw forward on there? Will, we'll start with you.
Yeah, well, I'm only vaguely familiar with this movie, but you know, they should also work on banning all these young pageantries that are basically the same thing, but not fictional.
I agree. That was actually one of my first thoughts was, wait, this movie was how Honey Boo Boo became famous.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's an entire industry dedicated to dressing up children like they're adults and parading them around to be judged on their beauty standards.
Right.
G-Dubs, what do you think?
I actually started watching this movie this morning and had to shut it off. Not because it was uncomfortable seeing 11-year-old girls twerk. It was more of, this was boring as shit. Like, if I wanted to watch this, I'd look at my niece's recital. At least I don't feel so guilty when I jerk off then. That's and it's all dubbed in English. Like, it's originally a French film where I'm like, all right, there's gonna be some artistry. No, there wasn't. It was just literally following this one girl as she like pines over this dance troupe. Like, and the dance. Here's the kicker part: is the dance troupe that she wants to belong to complete and utter bitches. Like, it's hard to say that about an 11-year-old, but they were bitches. Like, in like a couple more years, like in 7 more years, they're the type of girls that would totally stand me up for a date. Like, oh no, I was just kidding about that. Ha 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 ha. There was no character development whatsoever. And the worst part, there was like a subplot to the movie where the main character's mother, her husband, so the girl's father, takes a second bride. I'm like, how fucked up is this movie? Where, like not like the father divorced the mother. He literally just took a second bride, like as in multiple wives, as in polygamy. Like, and they all had to be happy and go to the wedding. I'd be like, fuck you. What about my mom? She gave birth to like a legend.
My mom birthed a twerk queen. Like, imagine how good those girls are going to be at twerking when they get to legal age. Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
I could at least see, like, if they actually hired people of age to portray an 11-year-old, but it was so wrong. It was so wrong. Like, and the worst part, like, it wasn't the fact that there was an 11-year-old twerking. It was the fact that there was a fat 11-year-old twerking. I'm like, come on, this movie is so unrealistic. There's no way, like, those groups of hot 11-year-olds would hang out with Miss Fatty. That's impossible. I've clearly seen too much of this movie.
I also saw earlier this week that there was quite a few articles published by the mainstream media claiming that there was a far-right group trying to get this movie banned, to which all the memes from conservative sites were basically like, hey, being anti-pedo is conservative? Welcome to our tent, guys. like, like it felt like this was just another, like somehow there's a convoluted way that this was just a recruitment tool for the Republican Party, because the mainstream media was so defending this movie. And I haven't watched it because, to be honest, I saw a couple flyers and I can't watch it. Like it made me scared that I might enjoy the film.
You won't. I got halfway through it and I was finally like, I'm done. The plot is so just stupid, and it just it just 11-year-old girl, like, okay, when I was an 11-year-old boy, I hated 11-year-old girls. Like just the way they acted and the way they were, and apparently me as a 40-year-old still hate 11-year-old girls.
I want to say I felt like when I was 11, I was still liking that like 18 to 22 demographic.
Oh yeah.
And that hasn't changed my entire lifetime.
Those are fine. Like they at least know how to shut up every once in a while.
Well, what do you think? Has your demographic changed much since you've become an adult, or do you feel like it's kind of shifted with your maturity level?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Like, you know, even when I was a kid, I was into older ladies, like 45 and up.
Okay.
Because I need women that'll be able to understand me crying.
The sensitive side of Will.
Yeah, they need to handle crying and, you know, stuff like that. You know, they'll put a blanket on me when I'm cold, like that kind of thing. They have to nurture. I don't know.
The kind of lady that would hold your hair back if you needed her to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a sensitive lad.
I just want a lady old enough to put a catheter in.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's the hard part I'm having with COVID, is that everybody wearing face masks. Like I had a nurse thing beforehand. And, well, and so it started. I felt like we're going to dive off the topic a little bit here, but I always had a thing for scrubs back in the day, right? And it was mostly because nurses wore scrubs, and at least, like, you know, a nurse is at least a certain level of intelligence. She has a certain level of income, and there's a certain status associated with that. And over the past 10 years, that has been completely decimated as housekeepers have started wearing scrubs, and random people have. So the same thing right now is happening with face masks, because that blue paper mask used to be a symbol of like, hey, I've had an education and I am qualified to diagnose you and I can take care of you if you're strong, if you're in the hospital. And now that blue face mask is just like, yeah, everybody's wearing one. Has your perception on masks changed since COVID, G-Dubs?
Mine definitely has. I normally, like, when I see a mask, I'm like, oh shit, here's my wallet. And now I'm giving money to everybody. Which, like, my wallet's gone. It was gone like week 1. Like, oh shit, I'm being robbed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it used to be back in the day that if you walked into a bank with a mask and gloves on, everybody was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And now it's the opposite, where if you walk into a bank without a mask and gloves on, everybody's like, oh fuck, kick this guy out.
Yeah. No, they actually tell you to put one on or leave the building. I'm like, I wish I was robbing banks now. Like, talk about job security. Like, it'd be so easy now. Like, oh, just hear about my business. Give me all your money. Thank you very much.
And then you walk back out on the street and you just blend in with every other guy walking down the street.
Wow.
Oh, it was the guy wearing a mask with some gloves on, and he had hand sanitizer in his pocket. Yeah, that's 95% of the general population right now.
I'd say, honestly, I'm over 6 foot, 300 pounds, and a ginger. There's not many people that look like me. It's like, oh, you were robbed by Brian Hussein? Perfect. Let's go pick him up.
Will, what do you think? Is your perception of masks changed since COVID broke out, or you still have the same opinion on them?
I love mask life, man. I mean, you're not obligated to smile or anything, and it's like the nice little protective layer between you and society. It's almost like those sunglasses that Adam Sandler put on that kid and like made him invisible. I feel like that when I have the mask on. I feel like I am invisible.
That's fair. I've always noticed there's a separation for me with a mask on that doesn't have the same. I'm not quite there. Where and speaking of which, if you guys want to get one of these sweet drunk and underwhelming masks, hit me up and we'll get one of those out to you. But yeah, I've always been that way where I always wished I had a sweet job like working in a coroner's office or something like that. But like the only way I'd be able to do that is if they were cool with me just wearing a full-on gas mask like all the time, because it separates you from the reality of the situation is what I feel. Do you guys experience that with the mask where it's kind of like you're there but you're not quite in the situation?
Yeah.
G-Dubs, do you find that too, or?
I normally, like, the problem is, like, once again, I'm so recognizable, just the shape of me.
That's
like
true.
like if you know who I am and see me in the street, you definitely go, oh, that's GW Foley. And there's been a couple times where I've been walking around minding my own business with my mask on, just trying to pick up groceries. And of course I have to take off my glasses because they fog up because of the mask. So I'm blind, just trying to like feel my way around the world like Matt Murdock. and like people will stop me and be like, hey, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you forever. I'm like, oh, hold on. And like actually put on my glasses to see who the fuck I'm talking to. And that's the worst part is, man. Like I think it should be like if the mask is on, you shouldn't talk to people unless like you like give them a sign of like, hey, I'm about to talk to you. Because like I'm mouthing shit like fucking macaroni and cheese, where are you? And by the way, speaking of picking up groceries, and this is kind of a tangent, I apologize. What is with all the beef ravioli? Like the Chef Boyardee beef raviolis are gone. From every single fucking store I've been in, I can't find beef raviolis or beefaroni. There's plenty of SpaghettiOs and that god awful like spaghetti in a can, or their gross lasagna. Like I don't know if you've ever had the lasagna from Chef Boyardee, but it's disgusting.
Like, I would say that lasagna from a can isn't lasagna because it doesn't have actual layers, and that for me is the make or break. A lasagna, I get that there's a lasagna noodle, but if you just like cook that down and put some sauce and some ground beef in it, like it's not lasagna. Like lasagna has layers. It's like an onion or an ogre.
No, you can layer it. They're tiny noodles though. Like
yeah, okay.
Like an inch and a half by a quarter of an inch or a half an inch. And you can layer it up. I mean, I eat it straight out of a can, so fuck it. But
I believe that's how Chef Boyardee is meant to be enjoyed. I don't know if as an adult that I've ever actually warmed up a can of Chef Boyardee. And while we're on that subject, I will say that the pepperoni or the pizza ravioli ones are my favorite. They have the cheese ravioli and they have chunks of pepperoni in the sauce. And I'll say if this whole thing ends in the apocalypse, I hope I find a bunker just full of those. That's how I want to live out the rest of my days.
I could live off of the beef raviolis. I'm not gonna lie. Like.
So we've rambled on that for a bit. We'll move right into the next section. I just wanted to bring up the wildfires out west. Our hearts go out to everybody who's been affected. It's a crazy situation out there, and I just want to say, God damn it, I am glad I live on the East Coast, where and given it's been an unusually dry summer out here as well. the beautiful assistant and I have said that our river has been downgraded to a creek. It's been dry, and so I imagine if it's dry there or dry here, it's really dry out there. But I just wanted to give a heartfelt, if anybody out on the West Coast finds this or sees us, I want you to know that our hearts are with you, that you guys are going through some awful shit right now. And it's the scariest thing living like me in the middle of the woods to see that kind of shit happen. I thought you guys might have a something to toss in there as far as I mean, I don't have anything funny to say about it. I just wanted to give say that I'm thinking of them because it's a crazy situation out west right now. I checked earlier, so there's wildfires, and I got to look at my list because there are so many states. We got Oregon, California, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, Mississippi, and Florida. That was just a quick glance at the wildfire map that's put out by, I forget whatever they are. And they also had said that the West Coast has the worst air quality in the world right now, which is incredible because India hasn't disappeared. I thought you guys might have a comment on that, especially someone like you, Will, who lives in New York and knows that air quality is not always 100% down there.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary. So bad. I mean,
they're advising people to wear N95 masks when they go outside or to stay inside with filtered air. G-Dubs, as a guy who lives in Rutland, air quality is not always great down there even.
No, and I want to say it's the perfect time to start filming horror movies. Like, the sky is red at noontime. Like, I guess you have to make the best out of a bad situation. Like, sure, our oxygen supply is quickly dwindling because of these forest fires, but let's, I don't know, make some apocalyptic movies and shit.
I will say that
the sun shines.
I will say that there's probably not a silver lining to this cloud, but if there were, there is some of the most beautiful photography being taken of orange skies. I saw a picture that made my jaw drop of the Golden Gate Bridge, just with an orange sky behind it. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not saying I like California at all, but my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, I was gonna say the West Coast. I'm sorry, Mississippi. Fuck it. Like you can have your forest fires. We all saw Mississippi burning. You had it coming.
I guess if you have a wildfire in Florida too, it's the only time of the year where you're like, God, I hope a hurricane hits soon.
It turns into a fire cane.
We're literally like 5 years away from Sharknado being a real thing. That's great. So we'll move right into the last subject tonight. GW, you brought this up earlier, and I yet another one, much like the Burger King thing, I thought it was a meme the first time I saw it. But no, Joe Rogan might be the moderator for presidential debate, which I think would be the greatest presidential debate that we've ever had. Because Joe Rogan, not only that I love him and that, I was introduced to the Man Show at 9 years old or so. I'd like to think that had a good Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope on that show were killer. And that's the real Man Show, not that Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Carolla thing, which, don't get me wrong, was like all right. But Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope are two of my favorite comics. And I felt like that show helped me develop an understanding of what masculinity was, even if it is a little bit toxic. And, I love it. But I wanted to get your guys' opinions on what you thought about Joe Rogan hosting a presidential debate. And I think he's the right guy for it. Will, what are you thinking on this subject?
Well, I think it'd be interesting that because I read that it's also going to be like 4 hours, 4 hour uninterrupted thing, and I guess they're going to be in close quarters. It'll probably be better than most debates because the environment that the debates are usually in are just like kind of phony. They're not really like eye-to-eye contact discussion. So I think that would be interesting. And I don't know much about Joe Rogan, so I don't know how he would be as a moderator, but I assume he's used to doing 4-hour broadcasts.
I have just realized that it's about 6:50, and I know that has an important thing. So if you want to plug your social media, let us know where we can find you. And
I am at Will Purpura at Twitter and Instagram, and follow me. I'll do bits. I do jokes. Check it out. Thanks for the show, guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Good.
And back when life goes back to normal, you all will also be booking shows, right? That's your
booking shows and doing shows and
nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Cheers for coming out, sir. We appreciate you.
I'll see you.
We're sorry you had to leave a little early, but have a beautiful week. I wish you the best, and hopefully we can have you back on the show. This has been great.
Love to. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Please. Have a great night, Will.
See ya.
All right, let's talk some shit.
Just listen now. What do you think about the Joe Rogan hosting the presidential debates?
Man, part of me is excited about it because, like, I just want to see Joe Rogan smoke pot in front of Donald Trump, and start. Like, I just want like a giant tangent to happen where they start talking about space aliens, and Trump like actually goes, oh yeah, and we actually have aliens.
Like he gets all clam baked because Joe's like roasting the fatty, and he gets like a little buzz on and just lets all the classified information flow.
Gets the contact high, and Biden has some classified information up there that he's not telling.
No, I'm sure. I would assume that. I mean,
he's got beer up my nose.
Given he might not remember most of it, but he was the vice president for 8 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. There must be some kind of tribble of thought in there that he can probably release. And I don't know. Like, I don't see the Democratic Party going along with it.
That's my issue, is that I have a hard time imagining, and please all our followers don't hate me, but I have a hard time imagining that Biden shows up to the debates. It's just after seeing the recent outings that he's had, I can't imagine him holding it together for a full 2 hours, especially with someone like Trump, who is really, really, and this is not an endorsement by Hickory the Drunken and the Whelming, but he's really good at getting under people's skin.
Oh yeah, but he treats every debate like it's a comedy show.
Well, I kind of feel like that's how Trump treats his like everything he does at this point.
Yeah.
Like I saw earlier during like one of his recent rallies, he made a comment about how oh god, there's a couple of good ones in there, that he said that he thinks after having such a crappy first term that maybe he could be the first third term president. And that he kind of deserves it. And of course, there was across the board, every single news station or like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times immediately put out articles stating President Trump says he's going to take a third term and this and that. And it's like, no, guys, he made a fucking joke.
Yeah.
like I get that he's the president. Like, dude's at a rally. He's trying to have a good time. Like, the people at the rally are trying to have a good time. Like, not everything is like verbatim serious, and I feel like we're losing that a little bit. That Trump is not your standard president where everything he says is what he thinks. He is, and I feel like you and I, G-Dubs, might relate to that more because we're stand-up comics, and that we realize that like not everything you or I will say on a stage is real or is like how I feel about something, and that I'll make jokes that are kind of verbose and over the top.
Oh yeah, well, even look at like the joke that I did earlier about like jerking off to my niece's recital.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I wouldn't do that. That is disgusting. If someone did that, they need psychological help. I did it because it's funny.
Exactly, and I feel like we're at a point in where they're trying to smear the president so hard that they lose sight of the fact that once in a while the guy's gonna make a joke. You know, like he knows he can't have a third term. Like nobody's gonna have a third term, and like the fact that he said it was like in a joking like, hey,
Yeah.
they kind of stole my first term with all the them trying to impeach me thing that didn't work out. So maybe I deserve a third one. And I think personally, I think that's funny.
Yeah, no, and I see the humor in a lot of things that he said. Once again, that I have to make the point. I don't support the president. I don't like supporting him, but like I can objectively find humor in with what he's saying, and what he's attempting to say.
I also, as we talked about in an earlier show, I think we talked about that for a minute, is that I hate the fact that I find myself in the position where I have to defend him.
Yeah.
Because the media is so bad, and all these people have literally, and we've been calling it the underground's been calling it Trump derangement syndrome for 4 years now, and I'm honestly, that's what I think it is that these people think he is World War II Germany incarnate.
Yeah.
And that's what they think, and literally anything he says is like for an example, going off topic a little bit, but this past week President Trump got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize twice.
Yeah.
And literally the day after, there's left-wing or very liberal publications saying we should end the Nobel Peace Prize. And me as a comic, as a magician, as somebody who looks at things mildly rationally, my thought was that, wow, the 2020 Democrats caught up with the 2016 Republicans, because they were saying that when Biden or when Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just,
and the kicker part with Obama getting it is he wasn't even in office. Like he was he was barely elected when he received it.
yeah, it was within like the first 6 months or something of his presidency.
And then he increased bombing in all of these countries, started the war in Yemen, which I know this isn't a funny topic for a comedy show, but which is still going on today, and we're helping fund Saudis bomb the shit out of Yemen, killing thousands of children and women, men and women, and no one gives a fuck about it. They care about like some stupid tweet that some jackass the president says, but they don't care about like us being single-handedly helpful in a genocide in a foreign country.
Meanwhile, our president has signed 3 historic peace deals in the past 4 months.
Yeah.
And they got nominated for a Nobel Prize for it. And no, let's get rid of the Nobel Peace Prize. It's incredible.
It's so stupid. We collectively as a nation, we need to pull our heads out of our ass. And first off, what we need to do, and this is going to be a complete shocker, is we need to stop nominating dumb people. Like,
So you heard it here first. Please, guys, vote Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming and GW Foley for 2024. We're coming for that White House, damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck governorship. Fuck being a senator first. We're coming right for it.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like, we are so stupid with the people that we've elected. And even Obama's included in that.
I think we'll be the first president and vice president that decided which role we'd take based on a coin flip. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
Or we'll play like rock, paper, scissors for like 9 rounds out of 16 or whatever. And that's how we'll decide which one of us is going to be the top of the ticket and which one is going to be the bottom. But I honestly think if things get much worse, we'll have a decent shot in 2024.
Oh, yeah. We have a good chance. I mean, who else is going to run? Kanye?
That's right. It's probably going to be Kanye. I would assume the other candidates will be like some crazy right-wing, like KKK member. And then the left will be like someone who has no gender and as an anarchist. That will probably be there'll be like 4 candidates and none of them are going to be good. So remember, Hickory Foley for 2024. Yeah, fuck governorship.
Get those masks out now. Masks and buttons.
It's a great idea. You can buy them at the first show we do.
Yes, which will probably also be in 2024.
At the current rate things are going. Anyways, that kind of brings us to the end, and it's just the 2 of us. G-Dubs, thanks for being here.
No problem, man.
For everybody out there, please follow Will Purpura. He was awesome tonight.
Yes.
And hopefully sooner than later, he'll be booking some shows in New York City again so that the fine people down there can take in some entertainment and, not just, do whatever they're doing, stay locked in their house or out in the firelight and streets, out in those streets lighting fires.
I liked it the other way around.
I'm more qualified than Biden already. Yeah. That's pretty much it. G-Dubs, let's give a final send-off. Anything you want to get off your chest before we start plugging ourselves?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's roll this.
I said plugging myself, and the beautiful assistant just laughed her ass off here in the corner, trying not to be loud. And so I guess that means I'm off tomorrow, so she'll be plugging me later. It'll be great. It's going to be a wonderful Monday night. That's all I got to say. Let's plug your media, G-Dubs.
At Foley Kills, at Instagram, Twitter, which, by the way, Instagram sucks. I can't stand Instagram. I try, guys, and
I literally use Instagram because it makes it easier to post shit on my Facebook when I have photos I want to share. That's literally the only reason I have that app. And because there's like 3 people I know that don't have Facebook but like Instagram, so I use that to message with them. But yeah, it's Instagram is not a great app.
No, but yeah, find me at all of those at Foley Kills. Parlor, I need more Parlor followers.
I agree. I'm finally starting to follow more people on Parlor, which is cool, because for the first 3 weeks it was literally like you and a couple other God, I forget who I even followed. It was bad. It was like literally the Quartering. I like his channel. He's like got a gaming channel on YouTube, and my God, that guy posts like 6 times a day. I've been crushing my feed. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out for the show. Please follow me at HickoryTDAU for short for the Drunk and Underwhelming. In case you didn't figure that out, that's on Facebook, on Parlor, on Instagram, YouTube search Hickory the Drunk. We've been putting these shows up for the next day. on YouTube now. In the future, we are in the talks of discussing these might be going up as audios on Anchor, so they'd be available as a podcast. If anybody has opinion out there, please let us know. If that's a good idea, a bad idea, let me know. And yeah, there's more news to come up in the future that we've been working on behind the scenes. So please, next week, episode 22, we will be here with Matt Vita. That should be fun. And hopefully Colin can make it for next week. And if not, we'll just trudge forward like we did now. G-Dubs, any last comments?
No, that's it, man. I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, brother. For everybody out there, please remember to stay drunk, stay underwhelming, and stay safe. We'll see you next week. And this is for the YouTube only. We didn't stop recording till now.